It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
All right, we're now joined in the infield media center in the interview room by driver the number 31 AT&T Mobility Chevrolet, Jeff Burton. Jeff is currently 4th in points in the chase. Jeff, your thoughts on racing here at Kansas?
Well, it kind of starts our mile and a half. You know, it's the first of the mile and a half in the chase, and you know, I think it's really going to be really important to run well here. You know, it's even though this racetrack's quite a bit different than Charlotte and quite a bit different than Atlanta or Homestead or any of the mile and a half, but it's still, I think, important to be able to run well at this kind of racetrack. And it's a big test for us this weekend. We've struggled with the mile and a half. It's been our weak point, and you know, we've been talking a lot about being able to do it better and having better stuff coming and those kind of things. But you know, we need to be able to show that we can do it and lay some points down and have a good finish.
We'll open up to questions from the media. State your name and affiliations. Start with Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Jeff, in the wake of the drug policy getting announced at Dover last week, there were some stories that quoted some outside experts who talked about how different this policy is from other sports because there's no list and there's a list in other sports. Could you kind of give your take on that? I guess, you know, one, how is this sport different than others, and that maybe there might not be a need for a list, and you know, were you guys consulted about that, and you know, generally, are you happy with it? Or, you know, kind of your big drug policy answer in a nutshell.
Well, I can't, you know, I'm not well versed in drug testing. I believe, and one thing that I do understand is that if the little bit I've read about it, and mainly in cycling I've read about it, is that it seems like the banned substance list is always changing. It seems like that it's hard to stay ahead of the curve in putting a list of all the banned substances, because scientists and chemists are always trying to create something that's not on the banned list. So putting names on the banned list on the surface of it seems like a good idea, but there's problematic as well. The fact that this policy, you know, is a little more open, I think has some real merit to it. Although that gives the sanctioning body, or not necessarily the sanctioning body, but the testing group, a little bit of free reign with what they at the moment believe should be a banned substance. That's a negative to not having a list. So again, I'm not real well versed on it, but on the surface of it, I kind of see both sides of it. I'm okay in not having a list, because if you are taking something that is illegal, obviously that's going to be bad for you. But you could potentially be taking something that has some medical research behind it, that has been created to make you be able to function better physically. We now have a policy that, because it is an open, you know, kind of an open policy and no names, it's now your responsibility to make sure you're doing the right thing. It is you really don't have an out in saying, well, I took this because my trainer said to take it, and there's nothing in it that's on the banned substance list. Now the responsibility rests on your shoulders. If your trainer or someone in healthcare wants you to take something, you can't look them in the eye and say, is this on this banned substance list? They can't give you that answer. So now it forces you to go do the research and call the right people to make sure you're doing the right thing. So it puts the responsibility at the end of the day on the user. I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm really okay with that. So, you know, we you know, fitness, and really that's what we're talking about. I mean, honestly, if you're doing heroin, I was going to say smoke it, but I don't know if you smoke heroin. I don't know how you do it, but if you're doing heroin, you pretty much know you're out there. It's illegal, and you're in trouble if you're getting caught. If you have a trainer that's real proactive in some sort of fitness type of a drug or supplement, you may not know if that's right or not he can't look you in the eye and say it's not on the banned substance list. You got to go make sure. So I think there's some real merit to that. And that to me is that's our biggest issue. You know, if you're trying to do the right thing, not knowing you're doing the wrong thing, that's when I have sympathy. This policy makes it easier, in my eyes, it makes it easier for me to pick up the phone, call the laboratory and say, okay, my trainer wants me to do this, am I okay? And now I took the responsibility to call the laboratory has a responsibility of getting back with me. And that, to me, I'm good with.
Hi,
Sorry,
Jeff.
long answer, but it's not a short one.
That's a good one, though.